Hi everyone, this is Raul Harad, CEO of DeepSafe. I'm not sure if you can hear me. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully you can hear me now. Hi, I'm Raul Harad, CEO of DeepSafe, here with another stream. Apologize for running a couple minutes late. A lot going on behind the scenes here at DeepSafe that soon we'll be sharing with you. But today I wanted to talk to you about a subject that's a little bit different in terms of what we usually discuss, which is a little bit more DeFi related. I wanted to talk to you about the use of blockchain in other industries. So, one of them being supply chain, another one being counterfeit, which is a very important one, and of course, ESG, which is a topic that needs to be in top of mind of all entrepreneurs and managers in terms of larger corporations. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because, as you know, in DeepSafe, we specialize in really being a verification layer that provides information that is reliable, that can be used in a way where you know that the provenance of the information has been verified and confirmed. And so, a lot of the times, the use of this information is not necessarily for finance, right? Sometimes it can be used in other industries like the ones I will talk about. And it's just as important that the information that's being used is information that has been verified, that is reliable, that the users can have the confidence that it has not been tampered with or altered in any way, right? So, blockchain is increasingly being adopted to enhance supply chain transparency, prevent counterfeiting, and improve environmental, social, and governance reporting. And it offers robust solutions for modern enterprises and their challenges. So, in the case of supply chain, blockchain provides an immutable and, as we know, tamper evident ledger, or in other words, tamper proof ledger for recording each transaction and product movements within the supply chain. This enables real time tracking and visibility for all stakeholders, ensuring that everyone from suppliers to consumers can monitor product provenance and status. And information cannot be altered retroactively, which greatly enhances trust, eliminates fraud, and improves regulatory compliance. For instance, in the food industry, firms have implemented blockchain to verify each stage of a product's journey, leading to faster recalls and improved consumer confidence. In Dubai, for example, I can tell you that the cars that are in Dubai are registered within a blockchain that has, for example, all of the repairs, if they've been in an accident, things like that. And then we also see companies like the car manufacturer, French car manufacturer Renault. Renault has all of their supply chain and actually, let's say, production chain on blockchain. So if there is a recall, let's say in a certain part or a certain type of car, they know exactly the journey that car has taken rather than having to call hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of cars. And so one of the key benefits is real-time traceability in terms of supply chain. So every supplier updates the same chain, creating an end-to-end digital trail. You have immutable records, so once a transaction is added, it cannot be altered, and this ensures authenticity. And like I said, we have multi-party visibility, so manufacturers, logistic companies, auditors, customers, everyone can have access to the truth, the true source. We see this also in agricultural products, so like cocoa, coffee, seafood. We see this in pharmaceuticals, which is obviously very important in terms of tracking the supply chain for FDA and WHO compliance. And we're also seeing this, as I mentioned, in automotive parts provenance as well as electronics. The second industry that I had mentioned is anti-counterfeit measures. And counterfeiting is a major global issue, especially for high-value goods, pharmaceuticals, electronics, a lot of different consumer goods. And so blockchain helps fight this by providing each product a unique digital identity, or sometimes using a QR code, as you may have seen, or FID tags linked to blockchain records. And they can be verified by consumers and retailers. And so, what this does is it helps certify the authenticity and product tracking information can be stored on the blockchain, making it extremely difficult for counterfeit goods to enter legitimate supply chains. So, initiatives like digital product passports supported by regulatory agencies have even helped further with the authenticity and the intellectual property enforcement. And so, how does it help? Well, securing digital twins, so every product has a unique blockchain ID. As I mentioned, it could be a QR code, it could be an NFC chip, it could be an RFID. You have instant verification, so customers or partners can scan this code to confirm the authenticity and provenance of the product. And you have zero tampering, right? So fraudsters cannot replicate the blockchain or enter it from the outside or alter the products that are in the blockchain. And this is being used a lot in luxury goods, so for watches and bags, jewelry, just to make sure that they are authentic. As I mentioned, in pharmaceuticals, for same thing, authenticity of medication. And we see this also in artwork and other collectibles, right? We have tokenized certificates that help make sure that the item that we're dealing with is in fact authentic. And the third industry I wanted to talk to you about is ESG. So blockchain is transforming real-time traceability of ESG measurement, reporting, and verification. So companies can automate the collection and verification of sustainability data, such as carbon footprints, ethical sourcing, labor practices, through blockchain integration. So this ensures accurate, auditable records, and it streamlines compliance with increasingly stringent regulations. Blockchain-based ESG platforms allow for easy benchmarking and instant visibility for investors, for regulators, consumers, and this, of course, builds greater trust in sustainability and the claims that are being made about sustainability. So, for example, blockchain has been used to track coffee beans' journey from farm to cup, ensuring environmental and ethical standards are met, so that there is fair labor, that there is a guarantee of certain standards that have been complied with. Usually, ESG reporting suffers from manual and inconsistent data collection. Unfortunately, there is the risk of greenwashing, lack of verification mechanisms, siloed systems, and increasing regulatory scrutiny. And so blockchain helps solve all of this, right? We have immutable sustainability logs, we have automated carbon tracking, auditable emissions and energy data, we have reliable metrics for compliant frameworks. So, there are different ways in which we're using this. Environmental, for example, as I mentioned, tracking carbon footprints through immutable data. We have records of, let's say, waste reduction, renewable energy use, resource consumption. So it really helps verify things that could be double counted, like carbon credits, right? In terms of DS, so social, blockchain helps confirm ethical sourcing and labor conditions. It tracks worker safety data and verifications and certifications. It helps verify compliance with local labor laws. Obviously, all of this very, very important. So blockchain helping really take steps in making sure that the social aspect of responsibility, corporate social responsibility, is being met. And then in terms of governance, of course, we have the store of compliance documents, the insurance of transparency when it comes to audits, the reduction in fraud and manipulation of disclosure. So we really have a collaboration between the different players that help change these industries. In terms of the impact of business, of course, number one is trust. So stakeholders have a single tamper-proof audit trail and source of truth. We have compliance, which helps meet regulatory standards wherever, whatever jurisdiction that we might be dealing with. We have customer confidence by helping make sure that the product that they're buying is verified, and that really it comes from where it should, and that any sustainability claims are true. And then, of course, we have operational efficiency, right? By automating things like reporting, by automating things like contacting regulators and providing data, we reduce fraud and we increase efficiency. In terms of real world examples, if you want to look this up, you can look at Walmart and how they're using IBM Hyperledgers to look at food traceability and prevent contamination issues. You can look in luxury at LVMH and Aura Blockchain, which is a luxury item authentication or authenticity verification, rather. You could look at Maersk and TradeLens, which are using transparent shipping documentation through the blockchain. And then you can look at things like circular economy platforms that are tracking recycled materials and carbon data. So a lot to be said about using blockchain beyond finance. Many use cases that are no longer, let's say, a project or an idea, but rather a reality that is used. Very exciting, and of course at DeepSafe, very, very interesting, because we provide this sort of service that helps make sure that any sort of information is verifiable, that any sort of information that we're working with is true, and that you can trust it, right? So these are all applications where DeepSafe or our technology has a place and a use, and we look forward to serving a lot of these sectors continuously and increasingly. And so with that, thank you for your company. I'll see you next stream. Have a good day, a good afternoon,